Athlete A, named after the then anonymous gymnast whose complaint led to the first public expose of Larry Nassar's decades of abuse, reveals that USA Gymnastics' toxic culture was about protecting the brand, not the girls. The procedures used to select and train champions also made the girls vulnerable to abuse, sending them to an isolated training center in Texas where trainers alternated between telling them they were wonderful and berating them for falling short of perfection. Bella and Marta Carolier, the coaches, could be harsh, even smacking them if they didn't measure up. If the girls complained, they were ignored or forced to sign non-disclosure agreements, and they were well aware that simply asking questions would put them at risk of not being selected for the Olympic team. After 14-year-old Nadia Comanesi's perfect 10 gold medal at the 1976 Olympics, the aesthetic of female gymnastics competition transformed. Previously, team members were adults, such as the 20-something men's team. Female gymnasts of today are young and petite. Simone Biles, the United States' most decorated gymnast with 19 world titles, stands 4'8". The Fierce Five, the gold medal U.S. 2012 team, were all between the ages of 15 and 18. Some of them were among the 500 teenage gymnasts who were sexually abused by team doctor Larry Nassar. Around the same time as the sport's focus switched from adult women to powerful but cute small girls, USA Gymnastics' goal shifted to money, as organizations typically do. Steve Penny began his career with U.S. Gymnastics as the organization's marketing director before rising to the position of CEO. Sponsors and the organization's brand were his top priorities. Child sexual assault is damaging to a brand's reputation and a nightmare for sponsors. He failed to disclose the allegations about Nassar to the authorities in violation of the law, not to mention his responsibility for the safety of the girls in his care and the most basic human rights. He also lied when she said he had assuring Maggie Nichols' parents that he had it under control and warning them that they could not say anything without jeopardizing the FBI's capacity to investigate. They trusted him, and her father acknowledges they kept quiet because they didn't want Penny to be excluded from the Olympic team. We know how this went. Before Nassar's sentencing, Judge Rosemary Aquilina let his accusers read their devastating statements. The story of the predatory beast, the brave survivors, and the heroic reporters of the Indianapolis Star is told by directors Bonnie Cohen and John Schenk. However, they want us to see more. Monsters cannot prey for 29 years without monitoring and accountability failing. Cohen and Schenk show us the many factors and failures that contributed to the abuse over decades, including an almost cult-like environment that separated the girls from their parents, teachers, and friends, constantly measuring their bodies and performance, demanding obedience, and elevating the appearance of excellence above the girls' health and welfare. The three most powerful moments for us were images we had seen before, but suddenly, because of the film's thoughtful, completely riveting context, we understood them in a new way. The first was the memorable moment from the 1996 Olympics when Carrie Chug won gold for the U.S. team with an incredible vault, nearly flawlessly done despite a terrible injury. It was one of the highlights of the year's athletic events, not just the Olympics, and she was universally praised for bravery and dedication, being dubbed the ultimate competitive athlete. We observed no courage or dedication when we watched it again, this time narrated by Jennifer Say, author of Chalked Up, about her experiences as a competitive gymnast. We observed a young woman in excruciating pain, and Carolier didn't ask how she was doing, instead exclaiming, "You can do it." The second was a sign that said, "Women's gymnastics," which we only caught a glimpse of. It serves as a reminder of how young these athletes are. The third was Michaela Maroney's frown after receiving her silver medal at the 2016 Olympics. It was a funny meme at the time, and it was even imitated by then-President Obama. However, knowing that she was assaulted by Nassar hundreds of times, including the first time she saw him, implies that the scowl was more than a pout over finishing second. Cohen and Schenk demonstrate that the Carolier method of training was intended to keep the girls quiet and docile, focusing on their physical strength by keeping them emotionally unsettled. The Caroliers were everything to the girls when they were away from their parents, teachers, and friends. The young athletes were trained to obey their mentors. Every day, the Caroliers swayed the girls and nicknamed them pigs if they gained weight. It's no coincidence that Nassar utilized candy to boost their self-esteem. According to one former gymnast, the line between tough coaching and abuse gets blurred. This may be what it takes to win Olympic gold, but is it worth the price? That's all for today's video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then do like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such exciting content. See you in the next one.